Managing your health and fitness is simple. It's just not easy. Today I'm going to teach you 7 things that you can do so you never have to hire me as your coach. The place you need to start is anchoring your reason, having an understanding as to why you're doing this in the first place, a reason that is beyond just the superficial level, a true reason to stay on track, make progress long term. Over 74% of adults in the US are considered overweight or obese. So I'm going to take this from a fat loss angle, but it works with any goal. To really succeed long term, you need to have a deep understanding of the why the fuck you're doing this in the first place. And I don't mean the I want to lose weight to feel better answer, because yeah, no shit. We need to dig deeper. We need to ask ourselves why at least 5 times. The first answer you give will be the superficial layer, the answer that you don't mind saying to everybody, but not the actual real reason why. For example, you want to lose weight so you can look better. The second one will be slightly closer to reality, but not quite there. I actually want to lose some weight so that I feel comfortable enough to take my shirt off at the beach. On the third layer, you'll be a little bit more on the emotional reason why. I'm actually embarrassed whenever I take my shirt off at the beach. The fourth letter is the identity piece. When I see myself in a reflection, I don't recognize the person who's looking back at me. And the fifth layer will be the actual truth. I've actually avoided family vacation photos for the past 5 or 6 years because I hate how I look. Do not skip this step, because when life kicks you in the dick and the mornings are cold, dark and wet, you don't want to get up and do the thing, but you know you have to. This will be the thing that keeps you going long term. The second one is focus on systems over goals. Goals are important, but from my experience working with clients, helping them lose 50, 80, even 100 pounds, the only way to actually achieve those goals is to focus on the systems that will get you there. It's easy to be motivated at the start, but when you only focus on the goal, as you go through the process, it can seem like such a big task, a monumental task, and you feel like you're never going to get there. The motivation will disappear, you'll get overwhelmed, and you'll likely give up again. The only way to achieve such a big goal is to work on them consistently every day. Putting a system in place, like something you know you can manage day to day, no matter what's going on. A system that you know done consistently over time will get you to where you want to be. So while losing 50 pounds can seem like a huge task, and on the days or weeks that you feel like progress is stalling, not happening quick enough, or sometimes going backwards, instead of getting discouraged or falling off or quitting, you can fall back to the system that you have in place and asking myself, am I doing the things that I said I would? Are my actions in line with the goal that I set out? This is our expectations of progress. And this is the reality of progress. And the bit in the middle is the valley of sorrow. At the beginning, progress will be slow, but sticking to the system consistently over time will get you to where you want to be and beyond. The small things become the big things, and you will notice that they compound over time. These are the things that can change how you feel, how you look, and how you show up day to day. And eventually, they will change how you think and feel about yourself. The other cool thing about focusing on systems over the outcome is when you actually reach the goal, you're not left sitting thinking, what now? You have systems in place that you can change the goal, get to a point of you can set new goals and targets that you never thought were in any way achievable. Number 3, simplify food. Before I actually get into food, I need to talk about hydration. From a how you feel point of view, making sure you drink enough water is crucial. As a start point, 3 to 4 litres daily for men and 2 to 3 litres daily for women. Thank me later. Okay, back to food. This one, honestly, is more about your relationship with food, and I get it. Food can be comforting. Feel sad? Eat something. Feel angry? Eat something. Have a shitty day? Eat something. Good day? Eat something. Celebrate? You guessed it. Eat something. Lonely? Eat something. Or surrounded by friends? Eat something. Food doesn't need to always be some big event. It's okay that sometimes dinner is just dinner. It doesn't have to be boring, and I know chicken, broccoli and rice gets a bad rap, but instead of every meal, every day, trying to reinvent the wheel, sometimes too much choice can be the problem. So here are some rules that will help you. The first thing you can do is build 3 options for each mealtime that you know will be in line with your goals. We got breakfast, 3 options, lunch, 3 options. Dinner, 3 options. And of course, snacks. We got 3 options. I'm a big snack guy. I don't think a life without them is something that I want to lead, but make the wrong choices and they can fuck you up. And for the people who say that they can't eat the same foods every day, first of all, I call bullshit. I would imagine you probably eat the same foods every day anyway. If you do this, it gives you 81 total combinations for your day of foods that you know are in line with your goal and are aligned with the person that you're trying to become. Learn how to make the same foods, but making them different. Use seasonings and flavors so that you can technically have the same thing, but every time it's different. The second thing is, do not totally eliminate the foods that you love. Generally, when people are going on a diet or trying to get healthy, they just remove everything that gives them any joy or happiness. That leads me into number 3. Focus on 80% whole foods and 20% whatever the fuck you want. For example, if your calories are set at 2,000 for the day, 80% of that is 1,600 calories of whole foods, and then 400 calories. Party time. That's a beer and a cookie. Nah, I mean, it's not a beer and a cookie, is it? I mean, you could maybe get a beer and a cookie.
Small cookie.
A small beer and a small cookie. Every day. Number 4, prioritize protein. Protein will keep you fuller for longer, and all those feelings of craving foods throughout the day, it will quieten them. It won't totally get rid of them, but you'll not be as hungry throughout the day. As a rule for that, 1 gram of protein per 1 pound of body weight, which sounds like a lot, and it will be difficult to do, but it's not impossible. Number 5, be intentional and be prepared, because when life's on fire and you're pressed for time, convenience will win every time. Convenience and healthy food generally don't go together unless you're prepared. Pick 1 to 2 days per week to prep your food. I used to prep my food on a Sunday and a Wednesday. So Sunday for Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and a Wednesday for Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And if you don't want to do that, just make double dinner and bring the second portion of dinner for lunch the next day. And I will add this, there are literally hundreds of thousands, if not millions of ways that you can eat. I just find that this is a good framework or system that you can fall back to for the days you feel like you go off track or eat off plan or whatever it might be. It's a baseline set of boundaries that you can return to for those times when things go off track. It's not a diet, it's a lifestyle change. People who want to be healthy make healthy choices. I still like pizza and donuts, and that's okay. It's about knowing when to have them and not making it a regular thing. And when you nail all of this, the food is no longer the celebration, but how you feel can be. Number 4, respect calories. I'm sure you've heard, seen, or read calories in versus calories out. I will say this, calories in versus calories out has some nuances, but in the nature of not trying to overcomplicate this entire thing, I'm going to talk on a very baseline level. Essentially, calories are a unit of energy. Different foods have different amounts of them, and your body uses them to literally do everything. We all have a minimum number of calories that we need to just live, to survive, to be alive. This is known as your BMR, your basal metabolic rate. Yours is individual to you, but it will represent 60 to 75% of your daily energy expenditure. Literally to just be alive. If you just were alive and stayed in bed, this is the amount of calories that you would burn. Your total daily energy expenditure, or your TDEE, is all of the calories you burn doing all of the shit that you do in a day. If we start with BMR, making up 70%, then we have your NEAT, which is your non-exercise activity thermogenesis, which is basically everything that you do that's not exercise. So like fidgeting, all of this stuff that I'm doing right now is NEAT. And if we have that at roughly 10%, your TEF, which is the thermic effect of food, which is literally the calories that you burn eating food and digesting it. And the last piece of the puzzle is your EAT, which is your exercise activity thermogenesis. So the intentional exercise that you do. Don't use this as gospel, use this as a start point. Getting an understanding of a rough number of this gives us a target. Use a calorie calculator to work out your numbers. It'll ask you a couple of lifestyle questions and it will give you a rough estimate of what your TDEE is. Now, that's the out part, but what about the calories in part? This part might piss you off, but tracking your food for some length of time is part of the process. If anything, it'll give you an idea of how many calories you're actually consuming and how your food's actually made up. Think about getting the best value for calories that you can. Take your TDEE, and if the goal is to lose weight, eat slightly less. And if the goal is to gain weight, eat slightly more. Like I said, don't use this as gospel. Do it for 2 weeks, review and adapt. So if you eat slightly lower and the goal is weight loss and you don't lose weight, eat slightly less than that again. Right, a couple of things to watch out for. If you burn 300 calories on a walk, this is not a buyback system. It's not a let's celebrate by eating a donut because I burnt 300 calories. Some things are higher calories than others, generally the most delicious things. Think about getting the best value you can for the calories that you have. Don't just look at your daily, look at your weekly target. So if you have an event on at the weekend, just eat a little bit less throughout the week. So across the entire week, you can still stay on track. Aim for 80% real food, like whole foods, something that has been alive or grown in the ground. 20%, whatever the fuck you want. Literally, whatever the fuck you want. Just because a menu doesn't have calories doesn't mean that we avoid restaurants or just don't track at all. Make some sort of effort. And remember, liquids have calories too. This is where I see so many people fall off. That morning latte, 300 calories. The sauce that you put on, 200 calories. That blue cheese salad dressing, 400 calories. So because you had a salad, doesn't mean that you're automatically within your calories. And that morning latte, just have a black Americano, 3 calories versus 300. Number 5, move every day. And look, before we get into this one, I'm not saying that we need to spend hours and hours in the gym every day, but if you're like any of the people that I work with, you're probably stuck at your desk 10 to 14 hours a day, so anything is going to be better than nothing. To me, there are 3 components to movement: your walk, your cardio, and your weight and resistance training. You don't need to start with them all at once, just judge your start point based on where you currently are. Let's talk about walking. Overlooked and underrated. The magic internet number for steps is 10,000 a day, but if the reality of what you're currently doing right now is 1,500, that's a monumental jump. Look at your average over the past 30 or 90 days and just build from there. Add 1,000, make that the new average, add another 1,000 and continue on. And if you're just a normal person that says going for a walk instead of getting steps, use time or distance, but either way, be intentional with it. Under-desk treadmills are cool and a great habit stacking tool, but aim for at least 30 minutes of intentional walking outside in the real world. Cardio, something that gets your heart rate up over 100 or 120 beats per minute. Weight and resistance training, again, something's better than nothing. Look at what you can commit to and start there. The reason that it feels so hard right now is because you're not using your body. The more you use it, the easier it will become. The easier it becomes, the more you'll want to do. And the more you do, the better you will look, feel, and function. You'll have more clarity, more energy, and better focus. Start small, even if it is just intentional walking. The first few weeks are going to suck, but you will start to feel better. If you push a little more each time, after a few months, you'll be able to do things that you never thought were possible. And in a year, trust me, if you start today, you'll not recognize the person that you are right now, sat watching this. A year may seem like a lot of time, but honestly, it's not. And if you're honest, it didn't take a year for you to get into the shitty situation that you're in right now. But within a year, you could be completely out of it. And a year from today is closer than a year from tomorrow. So stop waiting for whatever deadline to pass, whatever project, whatever conference, whatever travel or other bullshit excuse that you're giving. Start today. Future you will be grateful. Time is going to pass either way, so why not work on a better, happier, healthier, more fitter, confident, better looking version of you? Now look, you are going to have excuses. We all do. So let's address them now. I don't have time. The short answer to this is make time. Get up earlier, get rid of other time sucks. Look at where you're actually spending your time. I think if we're honest, we have a lot more time than we're willing to admit. If you can't find 20 or 30 minutes each day, then there's probably some other big life changes that you need to make. I'm too tired. I know this is going to sound a little bit backwards and a little bit fucked up, but the more that you do, the more energy that you will have. You feel tired right now because you're not using your body. Learn to use it and more energy will follow. I'm not motivated. Motivation is a feeling and feelings are fleeting. Do it because you said you would, not because you feel like it. Or ask yourself, if I continue to live like this, what does my future look like? And that should be motivation enough, because that can be a sad, depressing reality, which should be motivating enough. Waiting for things to calm down. Spoiler alert on this one, things don't calm down. I don't know what to do. Stop overcomplicating it. I hope that you at least know how to walk, so start from there. For cardio, get on a stationary bike, move the pedals. It's not that complicated. And for gym workouts, just Google gym workouts. You will literally get hundreds of millions of results. And fuck it, if that doesn't work, just comment below and I'll send you a fucking plan. Everyone in the gym will look at me. Everybody in a gym is dealing with their own insecurities, fighting their own demons or battling whatever the fuck they have going on. And in all honesty, they do not give a fuck about you and what you are doing. And also, you should not give a fuck about what they think. Exercise is not my thing. Okay, so you're happy being overweight, unhealthy, unhappy, and frustrated. Are you okay with that being your thing? The harsh truth is, you know what the outcome could be if you don't take action. I speak to so many people who see others around them who are unhealthy, out of shape, and become reliant on others or die too early because they didn't look after themselves. They don't want that future and they know that they have the ability to change it. You do too. Start slow and keep going. Number 6, be realistic. Manage your expectations. If you're 20, 30, 50, or 100 pounds overweight, you did not get there overnight. So in what world do you think you'll be able to change that in a week? A realistic target is 0.5 to 1% of your total body weight. So if you're 250 pounds, anywhere from 1.25 to 2.5 pounds per week is a realistic, sustainable, long-term weight loss goal. Some weeks will be more, some weeks will be less. Some weeks nothing will happen and some weeks you'll go up. This doesn't mean that it has stopped working or you're broken. The biggest failure that I see people make is they just don't give the thing time enough. Now, the bad thing is the more that you lose, the harder that it becomes. The 1%'s become less and less, and the more you lose, the harder it is to shift. It takes time and that sucks, but the longer you delay, the harder it's going to be. It will be hard, but I promise it will be worth it. And lastly, change who you think you are. This, in my opinion, should have been number 1. But I feel like if I had started with that, you wouldn't have made it to here. But now that you're here, I think you're probably pretty serious about this. Who you think you are is built on the stories that you tell yourself. Every decision that you have made in your life has led you to this point right now, good or bad. The good news is, whenever you decide who you want to become, you start making decisions like that person, and that will shape your future. So yeah, it's your fault, but you're also in control. So do those things and you'll never have to hire me as your coach.